This is the loving somebody that's hard to love
Okay.
theory. You know, we're asked to stand tall as devotees of Lord Krishna.
Mm-hmm.
We're asked to stand very tall. I mean, it sometimes means we have to love when these people apparently should. It seems like they should be hated for their behavior, but we should love them anyway. We're asked to forgive when sometimes the people that have hurt us have actually uh, uh, hurt us, traumatized us, affected us. We're asked to forgive them. It's like they should be asking us.
Mm-hmm.
They forgive me for what I've done. No, we're asked to like take it up way high. Like not only way high, we're asked to be godlike almost. And in that act, we become godlike. We start to resurrect, like we talk about the resurrection of Jesus. We talk about resurrecting our own spiritual life. And it doesn't come from just going tit for tat with people. We're asked to stand very, very tall on our spiritual path.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Live from beautiful Alachua, Florida. This is Wisdom of the Sages, a daily spiritual podcast with your host, Raghunath, and co-host and senior educator of the Bhakti Center in New York City, Kaustubha. Welcome to the show. It's Thursday, March 27th. And Mara, what episode is it?
1565.
1565, everybody. Last day in Alachua, leaves early tomorrow morning, and we are living the life down here.
It's wearing you down, Raghunath. I see it's wearing you down.
You know, it is wearing me down. I've got all three of my kids. We had guests. Mukunda Kishore and Claire came with their kids. We're staying at Madhurika's house. Henry's here. I'm just entertaining people.
Is Henry wearing you down?
Henry's wearing me down a little bit. He's here right now, knocking on my door. It's 6 o'clock in the morning. He wants entertainment. I have to entertain him.
Okay.
He came. I've been dragging Henry everywhere. He's just sitting in his new little house in Alachua. But I was like, "Come on, Henry. We're going here. We're going there. We're going here. We're going there." We took him out. We even went to the springs yesterday. I tell you, these Alachua springs. If you've not been here, it's worth moving here just for these springs. And we showed up there with our posse of like 8 people. And then there's just devotees everywhere. Mm-hmm. It's like everybody's a devotee. And they're hanging out these crystal clear springs where it's like a swimming pool with like a cave at the bottom. And you could just swim. You bring little kids. You bring teenagers. Everyone in the springs have Tulsi beads on. Maybe there was like 5% of the people that were not devotees, 10% of the people. But it was a beautiful day.
Good. All right, but are you ready for today? Are you ready to handle this?
You know
podcast?
what? I woke up today. I woke up at 4 yesterday. Went to bed at 10:45, and I woke up today. I slept great, but
you're tired.
A little frazzled. Yeah, a little frazzled.
Let's try to keep this together.
I'm trying to catch up because we're leaving for Italy, and where are we going? We're leaving for Gothenburg on Wednesday.
On Wednesday? This Wednesday?
What day is it today? Thursday.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, this Wednesday we're going to Gothenburg.
How long are you away for?
We return on the 19th.
So
just over 2 weeks, 17 days.
Making me do the math here, Mara.
Sorry.
All right.
Yeah. And so, yeah.
All right, let's get this moving, Raghunath. Let's turn it over to Mara, see if she has any announcements.
I'm not a machine, man.
That's why I'm saying let's get this moving over to her because I can see you don't have it this morning. You're like, if we just lounge out in your
just different in a different package. You think we're all the same? We're different. It's okay to be different, Kaustubha. We're not all robots.
It's not the difference that's the problem. It's like you're about to fall asleep is the problem.
We're going to lose them.
We're going to lose them today. Oh, God.
All right. You ready for some announcements?
Please, Mara.
Okay.
Enlighten us.
We've got Jiva G speaking to Harvard Divinity School today for Happy
Hey.
Jack's Yoga Conference.
Okay.
And
Yeah,
tomorrow,
I got her into
Kaustubha,
Harvard too.
Kaustubha will be speaking at 9 a.m. You can go to happyjackyoga.com for the link for that. And there'll be no show tomorrow also.
No show tomorrow. Oh, okay.
No, yeah, because
no
Rob is
show, 'cause I'm
traveling and you're
traveling.
at Harvard, so.
Okay. I was thinking I had one more day. I was thinking today was Wednesday. I was like, okay, I got 2 days till that Harvard thing. And then like just about 10 minutes ago, I found out, no, today's Thursday. I was like, oh man. But that'll make it a little easier for me to be prepared. Okay.
Also, we opened up our registration for spring retreat at Super Soul Farm for the Wisdom of the Sages retreat happening at the end of May. So if you go to wisdomofthesages.com, you can find more information.
And so then we're back on Saturday at 8 a.m.?
No, we'll do Saturday at 7 a.m.
At 7 a.m. Okay. And people can write in questions if they have any burning questions.
Yes, please write in questions. They can go to, if you're a Sage Community platform member, you can go to the questions for the hosts under community chat and put your question there, or you can always email it to us at wisdomofthesages108@gmail.
Q&A on Saturday.
7 a.m.
Okay. We got a nugget, Raghunath. Would you like to take on the nugget?
Yes, but first I have to do a Maha Mantra first for one of our regular listeners. That sister is going through hell. Here's my prayer. Her name is, here's the mantra. Ready? Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Her name's Tracy Williams. Going out to her. You know, it's sometimes tough when you have a loved one that's not a devotee. It's like, or their family members that are not a devotee, but you're practicing bhakti. So what do? You do what you do. You do what you do. You take care of yourself. You love that person. That love is when there's love transferred between people, the people make benefit. It's just what happens. You take care of yourself, and everybody in your universe gets taken care of. So heart goes out to them, and pray for your loved one to find deep connection. Prabhu, let me hear your nugget.
You want me to read it? Okay.
Yeah,
This
let me hear.
coming
I'm
from
a little
Lao
discombobulated over here.
Lao Tzu,
Lao Tzu. Okay.
who's the, according to this little bio, he's a semi-legendary Chinese philosopher. I'm sorry, he seems pretty legendary to me.
That's what a horrible thing for your
Why would they
title.
say that?
That's just like saying
Semi-legendary.
Kaustubha. He's
maybe-
sort of a good speaker.
Maybe it means like he might not have existed, semi-legendary, like maybe he's more of a legend than an actual person. Is that what that means?
Semi-legendary.
Semi-legendary.
Mara, look that up because that sounds like a put down.
Yeah.
You're sort of like of a B-rate actor.
He was semi-legendary.
Semi-famous.
Okay, anyway.
Having historical foundation, but elaborated in legend.
Okay. Okay.
So a lot of what comes from him is legendary. It's maybe fictional in a sense.
Okay.
But
Sort of like Confucius, the Buddha.
okay.
They're almost like semi-legendary.
Yeah. So he's the author of the Tao Te Ching, and this is from the Tao Te Ching, chapter 49. Ready?
Yep.
The sage has no fixed mind. He takes the mind of the people as his own. He is good to people who are good. He is also good to people who are not good. This is the virtue of goodness. He is faithful to people who are faithful. He is also faithful to people who are not faithful. This is the virtue of faithfulness.
These are big ones. These are big ones, Prabhu.
Yeah.
You know? This is the loving somebody that's hard to love
Okay.
theory. You know, we're asked to stand tall as devotees of Lord Krishna.
Mm-hmm.
We're asked to stand very tall. I mean, it sometimes means we have to love when these people apparently it seems like they should be hated for their behavior, but we should love them anyway. We're asked to forgive when sometimes the people that have hurt us have actually hurt us, traumatized us, affected us. We're asked to forgive them. It's like they should be asking us.
Mm-hmm.
They forgive me for what I've done. No, we're asked to like take it up way high. Like not only way high, we're asked to be godlike. almost. And in that act, we become godlike. We start to resurrect, like we talk about the resurrection of Jesus. We talk about resurrecting our own spiritual life, and it doesn't come from just going tit for tat with people. We're asked to stand very, very tall on our spiritual path. And if you're getting good at this, get ready for trouble, right? If you're getting good at your spiritual life, get ready. It's like sometimes we approach spiritual life to be happy. But I think God wants our transformation more than he wants our happiness. So we're going to get these situations that are sometimes very tough, that we're asked to grow, stand up tall, transcend. And then we become different. We become different than what we were born as. We become bigger than man, because we are bigger than man. We're not mankind. We're actually spirit souls. So yeah, this is this is sage thinking, sage behavior, sage life. Hashtag sage life.
Nice. There you go. You boil it down to hashtag. Now, I liked what you said. Something I liked. We're asked to be God-like, and I think, God-like doesn't mean like we're wanting people to worship us, or like we're all powerful, or we have the powers of creation and so on like that. But God-like in terms of vision, like try to see the world through the vision of God, or like from the heart of God, and that means that we're not stuck on petty stuff. We're not clinging to opinions or prejudices that those that are less than God do, right? That are prone to do, but there's kind of a full-on inclusiveness, a full-on equanimity that, God is above the issues that consume us, right? There's stuff that consumes us. We get angry about, we become confused about, we judge about, and God is like way, way, way beyond those little blips of, temporary hostilities and judgments and so on. So we're being asked to be like that. And it's not because other people always behave good that we respond with this consistent goodness, but because goodness is in them, is their essence. And so to be able to see that essence and respond to that essence, that's what we're being asked to do. That's the platform that we're meant to come up to. It's on that platform, like from the bhakti perspective, it's on that platform and only on that platform that we can really serve, that like we can only really please God. If you want to approach this from the idea of like a religious person, or let's say a person that wants to please God, then the idea is I really can't begin to please God until I come to God's level, God's type of vision, which has affection for every living being, and that can respond with that affection for every living being. And that means I don't have enemies anymore. It's that kind of you and I, we get into this a lot because it's just the state of the world and the way that we see it. But that idea of how do we really find justice, or how do we really find peace? We're mistaken if we think it's by attacking those who are necessarily do wrong, but it's really like seeing the good in them. I have three side nuggets here today, Raghunath. Okay.
I like where you're going with this. This is radical inclusivism.
Yes. Yeah. Yes. Radical inclusiveness. I got something from Abraham Lincoln, from Martin Luther King, and from Nelson Mandela. All right.
Abraham Lincoln. Let's hear this.
Start with honest tape. Abraham Lincoln said, "Do I not destroy my enemies when I make them my friends?" Right? They cease to be enemies at that point, right? When I make them.
That could be a T-shirt. Destroy your enemies.
By making
and on the back,
friends.
make them your friends.
Okay. And work on it. You can make it a hashtag too. Before
destroy your enemies. Yeah.
Then Martin Luther King Jr. He says, "Love is the only force capable of transforming an enemy into a friend." Right?
Yeah.
It's not. There's no type of, no Nothing that you can execute other than love that's going to do that. And Nelson Mandela, if you want to make peace with your enemy, you have to work with your enemy. Then he becomes your partner. Right? It's just it's a higher level of thought. It's sage level thinking, right? It's only when we're really kind of deep in ignorance do we take that person who has hostility towards us and understand that as being who they are, rather than just something that they're currently trapped in, right? And then recognizing that the only way we get over this, the only way that we transcend this, is by befriending them, is by overlooking, is by being faithful to those who are unfaithful, is by being good to those who behave in ways that are not necessarily good.
Like it.
I call him legendary, Raghunath. He's beyond semi-legendary
too.
for me. It's Lao Tzu.
You're a legend.
In my own mind. All right. Shall we move on?
I think so.
All right.
I think we've covered that. All right, now we're going to go back into the life of Sabari Muni.
No, we're not. We completed
No, we're not.
it.
It's over.
Did we not
Sabari
complete?
Muni's life is over. We just ended that
completed
chapter.
it, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, we ended that chapter.
Yeah, we
We're
ended
moving
that.
forward.
But we
really
could go
thought I
back
was
if you really
making it-
want.
I thought I was making a really cool segue. We're going to go back. Nope, you're wrong. Dum-dum.
It was sounding good, though, Ragnar.
It was sounding good, right? It was sounding like a real
It had like
DJ
a
or
PR
something.
thing going on, yeah. All right. Hit it.
Narayanam namaskritya naram chaiva narotamam devim saraswatim vyasam tato jayam medirayat. Before we start in the Śrīmad Bhāgavatam, which is our very means of conquest, one should offer respectful obeisances to the Supreme Lord Narayan, and to Narayan Rishi, the supermost human being, and to Mother Saraswati, the goddess of learning, and to Srila Vyasadeva, the author. Nasta prayeshva badreshu nityam bhagavat sevaya bhagavati utamashloke bhaktir bhavati naishtiki. By regular attendance in classes in the Bhagavatam and by rendering service to the pure devotees, all that is troublesome to the heart will become eradicated, and loving service to the Supreme Lord, who is praised with transcendental songs, will be established as an irrevocable fact. Om Jnana Tamarandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurunmritam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. I was born in the darkness of ignorance, and my teachers are opening my eyes with the torchlight of knowledge. I offer my obeisances at their lotus feet. Reading from the Śrīmad Bhāgavatam, Canto 9, Chapter 7. Text 1. The descendants...
No, we're not.
No?
No. Sorry.
What text are we at?
No, because, as we've faced in earlier chapters, in this 9th canto, there's a lot of long list of names and so on.
Okay.
And so we're going down and going down and going down.
I'm going to skip it.
So we're going to move right on to chapter 8.
Oh, great. The sons of Sagara meet Lord Kapiladeva.
Yeah, and we're going to even jump forward to text number 7. And again, why we're doing this is just because there's a lot of this person had 10 sons, and among these sons, this one had another 4, and this one's daughter married this one, and they had this one as their child, and then finally kind of opens up and gets into some kind of
Sure.
interesting stuff here. So this is we hear of a king named Sagara.
Very famous Vedic king.
Yeah, is he?
Sagara?
Yeah.
Sagara? Yeah.
Yes, Raghunath. That's
Sagara is
who I
the
am
one who.
referring to.
It's because of Sagara. He was a powerful empire of the in Ram's dynasty, and it's because of him and his sons that had died, the Ganga descended.
You
They
think
named the ocean. They named they named the ocean after Sagara.
Yeah, because the Sagar. Okay, that's
Yeah.
all right. So let's pick up on text number 7 here.
Okay. Text 7. Following the instructions of the great sage Urva, Sagara Maharaj performed the Ashvamedha sacrifice and thus satisfied the Supreme Lord, who is the Supreme Controller, the Supersoul of all learned scholars, and the knower of all Vedic knowledge, the Supreme Personality of Godhead. But Indra, the King of Heaven, stole the horse meant to be offered at the sacrifice.
Okay.
This is the
First-
actual story, actually, I think.
Well, first we have to clarify, as we usually do, that this horse sacrifice could be better referred to as a horse rejuvenation ceremony.
Yes. Yes. They don't. Yes.
They
Sometimes
don't
when you read these things, it sounds like, what the hell are they doing? They're killing a horse? No, 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 no. They're
Took an
giving this
old
horse a
horse.
whole new life, mystically recreate the life of the horse.
Okay, so yeah, the idea was that a horse would come out of the fire in a brand new body. That's how you knew they were really onto something
It
here.
was successful.
And there's so much, it would be interesting to really learn because you hear so much about the Ashvamedha Yagna, this horse rejuvenation ceremony, and how the great kings, even the great devotee kings, Yudhishthir and Prithu. Prithu is maybe the most famous one. How they were very eager to perform it with the idea that if I can perform this ritual, it's going to bring some very good results to my kingdom. It's going to help keep us connected to God. It's going to help us, not just to help us think more, stay more focused on it. Keep us centered right, keep us centered correctly. Somehow there's something to do with that. And then there's mention that Indra stole a horse. Now this isn't the first time we saw Indra stealing horses.
No. This is a regular occurrence for Indra, who's slightly addicted to stealing horses.
Well, it's out of fear.
He feels like he's getting threatened, like these earthly kings
Yeah.
are becoming so spiritually connected and powerful. They're going to become stronger than me.
They're
So he tries to
using the same
sabotage it
method.
repeatedly.
Yeah. His method was that he had done 100 of these ceremonies. And when he sees someone approaching that, he becomes frightened. I'm going to lose my position. Right. And then he tries to disrupt it, even in the most embarrassing ways. We read in the 4th canto that Prithu, who's like so exemplary in every way, he's being praised by everyone, right? Oh my God,
Right.
Prithu, you're the leader that we're looking for.
Everyone's so happy about Prithu. All the subjects, all the other the
he's
lesser
like,
kings,
Prithu,
everyone
Prithu.
loves him except
Indra.
Indra. Indra's frustrated. It's
Yeah.
just like it's like high school. There's one cool kid and everyone's worshiping that cool kid, and I'm sitting there frustrated. Why do they like him? Why is all the girls like him? And so Indra's seeing this, and he's feeling this envy. I'm losing my position.
I think you say it's like that in the music world. Right? It's like, like
Oh yeah.
you got the Stones and stuff, and then like these like new punk bands come around. Like these guys all suck. They don't know how to play their instruments. They're useless.
I don't know how to play their instruments.
Maybe there's some truth in that, but still, it's like there's fear that like we're losing our position. Someone else, new person is coming in and taking it over. And even if you cultivate karma on the level of Indra, you're still not free of that fear. You're not enlightened. You're not a real yogi. You haven't let go. And so he's got that fear. So now he's doing it again, right? He embarrassed himself so bad with Prithu Maharaj because he stole it once, got caught in front of everyone.
Embarrassing.
And not only that, he dressed himself like a sannyasi. So he put on this disguise as a holy. Right?
How embarrassing. Getting caught in a disguise.
He gets revealed in front of everyone. I was speaking about this is when I did the show with Kishori Gopi on Monday, Raghunath. We were talking about this, but in that he got caught stealing it once, and then they let him off the hook, and then he did it again. He did it again, and he got caught again, and revealed again in front of everyone. All the gods and goddesses are there. Imagine how embarrassing that must have been. And then Vishnu, I believe it was Vishnu, it was either Brahma or Vishnu, tells Prithu, I want you to embrace Indra. And I want you to do it and just let go of everything. Any kind of, with a pure heart, just full-hearted, I want you to embrace him. And he's like, if that's what you want, then that's what I'll do.
It must have drove Indra more crazy.
Yeah, right.
Forgive your enemies, for it drives them crazy.
And but I was saying that recently I saw photos of someone that I'll tell you who it was later. I don't want to reveal who it was, but it was a devotee who had been. It was the meeting of two devotees. One who had very publicly criticized the other.
Mm.
And I saw them embracing, and I saw them embracing in such a way where, like, it was a photograph. And so, like, I'm seeing the back of one devotee and the face of the other.
Yeah.
And so I'm seeing the face, over the shoulder of the other one, of the devotee who had been criticized so much by the devotee that he's now embracing.
Hmm.
And I could see in that embrace, and in the expression on his face,
Hmm.
that he wasn't embracing like, oh, this is some kind of like social circumstance where I have to do the embrace, so I'll do it.
Right.
But it was like embrace. It was an embrace that said, like, I love you. I'm happy to be embracing you. This I don't have enemies. Even if you criticize me, that doesn't change the fact. Doesn't change, my
Yeah.
love for you as a living being. So anyway, Prithu was asked to do that, and he embraced Indra like that. Now Indra's doing it again because he's afraid that someone's going to get his position, and so that's going to create. They're going to have to go find this horse now. Indra's told the horse, and that creates the circumstances for what we're about to hear more.
Is that a picture of you and me
Well, and who is who?
embracing each other? No. Okay, let's do this.
Well, you already read one.
Text 8.
Text 8. There you go.
The sons of Sumati, who were very proud of their prowess and influence.
Hold it. Why did you skip the? See, that information was relevant there. King Sagar had 2 wives.
Okay.
Sumati.
Because generally, in parentheses, when you're a thespian, an actor, like I am, generally when there's parentheses,
Yeah, well, I
you
won't
don't
deny
read
that. I
part.
won't deny that you're an actor.
You don't read that part. You're performing for these people, entertaining.
But Raghunath, everybody that you just read that to has no idea who Sumati is.
Okay. King Sagar had 2 wives, Sumati and Keshini. The sons of Sumati, who were very proud of their prowess and influence, following the order of their father, searched for the lost horse. While doing so, they dug into the earth very extensively.
So Bhagavatam just kind of spelling things out here, right? It's like, here you got a bunch of young men hyped up with righteousness, like they were very proud of their prowess and influence, and now they've been given this. It is an important responsibility, but isn't it a little ominous the way that it says it, that they're very proud of their prowess and influence?
Yeah.
That sometimes even people on a righteous mission, their own impurities become a problem in the carrying out of that mission. It can become destructive.
Sure. Happens all the time.
Yeah.
Fighting for a righteous mission, you get a little bit arrogant about your mission, and then you
become a problem yourself.
You create enemies instead of the love you're trying to fight for.
Right.
You've created some hate and some division. We see it all the time. Come on.
We see it all.
We see that in religion. We see that in diet. We see that in
Diet.
Yeah, like
a vegan warriors kind of thing.
You're a vegan warrior, and then you're like, oh yeah, I eat only locally grown food. And you try to one up them. Oh yeah, I eat raw, locally grown food. Oh yeah, I press my own olive oil. You're eating that olive oil in a clear bottle. Who do you think you are? It's photosensitive.
All right.
Ever meet an olive oil snob? They're everywhere.
Olive oil snobs?
Olive oil snobs.
Well,
Mary,
quality of
Mary
olive.
nodded. Look,
Oh.
I
silent
am
Mary
an olive oil snob. That's
Yeah,
why.
no, it's the olive oil. The quality of olive oil. There's a lot of bogus olive oil out there, Raghunath. So
I
it's
know.
Not necessarily
I think
snob.
you and Mara might be olive oil snobs.
I'm not a snob about it, but I
There's a lot
I
of bogus
do
olive
look
oils
for,
out there.
I do look for quality.
Okay, well,
brands.
don't hate people because of it.
I don't
Love
hate
them.
anyone. It
Just
sounds
like
like you're full of hate.
No, I'm not. I don't care what oil you're eating.
No, but you're upset with the people that you consider them snobs. You've put them in a little box, and you
Well, you're
have
putting
animosity.
people in a box.
I'm not. I didn't put anyone in a box. You're getting all hyped up.
Because some people are like, oh, the olive oil from the south is much sweeter than the bitter olive oil from the north of Italy.
No, well, to me, that's not the question. The question is that there's a lot
First
of bogus.
press. You got to eat the first pressed olive oil.
There's a lot of bogus brands out there that mix really bad ingredients into the olive oil, and they're getting away with it, right, Mara?
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
All right, love them anyway. That's the
I
lesson
love them.
today.
I still love them, but I'm
Love
just
them
going to go out and
anyway.
buy a quality bottle of olive oil. That's all. And it doesn't even have to be from Italy or Greece. I buy American olive oil.
Oh, do you?
I do.
A little patriotic olive oil nationalist.
You see, you're desperate to box me in. All right, let's keep this. I knew we were going to lose him today, Mara, right?
Yeah, it's been coming.
It's been coming. Okay, let's keep this going. Right now. We
direction-
got these guys hyped up now. They're looking for the horse. They're all hyped
This
up.
is, by the way, a lot of these people out there love the Ganges, love Mother Ganga. This is the story for you. This is how the Ganga descended.
I'm not sure if it's going to go there, but okay.
It may not go there, but this is the origin of the story.
Well, these guys are.
They're going to die.
They're
They're going to die, man.
And in order to revive them, the Ganga had to
In
come?
order to revive them,
Yeah.
it's going to be Mother Ganga who's going
There's
to
a
bring them
mention
back.
of that.
Is to save their soul.
Okay.
Yeah.
Shows you the power of the Ganga. This must be the origin of bringing the ashes to the Ganga.
Probably.
Yeah.
Probably.
I didn't put that together earlier, but yes.
Well, I'm glad I can help you.
Probably, maybe. I don't know. I'm glad I could help you.
Oh, Krishna. I think it's good to laugh early in the morning.
Yeah, it's just not too much. That's all.
All right. Thereafter, in the northeastern direction,
They saw the horse.
they saw the horse near the ashram of Kapila Muni. So you have all these.
Okay.
By the way, when he says his sons went to look for the horse, I'm not talking about like eight kids. There was something ridiculous, metaphysical number of sons. He had like 60,000 sons, Sagara.
All right.
I don't know how you do that. I don't know how that's possible. It's not something I understand that I can't understand everything. Write that down, Mara.
Thank you.
But the fact is, there's 60,000 princes looking for the stolen horse by Indra.
And now they've spotted the horse.
But the horse is at the ashram of this very, very powerful sage, Kapila Muni.
I mean, he's beyond a powerful state. He's Krishna. He's an avatar of Lord Vishnu.
He's beyond an avatar. Here is the man who has stolen the horse, they said in unison. 60,000 people saying that at once. Here is the man who has stolen the horse. He is staying there with closed eyes. Certainly is a very sinful man. Kill him. Kill him.
Oh man, they're really losing it.
Right. It's 60,000 like rambunctious prince teenagers coming in the line of a very, very powerfully connected father,
Sagara.
Sagara. I mean, shouting like this. And Ram is going to be born into this family many generations later. Shouting like this, the sons of Sagara, 60,000 altogether,
You were
raised their weapons. I was right. When they approached the sage,
I think that's overkill, right? It's like, maybe
what's over?
maybe like if 5 of them step forward with weapons. 60,000 with weapons?
I can't even confuse how you could fit 60,000. It's like a stadium. The people going into a cave. I don't get it.
Well, it's an ashram. He could have been sitting outside.
I know. What was it? Ashram, the Staples Coliseum is
No, it could have been just like a big open area.
there's 60,000 people.
Yeah. Maybe he's,
Anyway, the
overlooking a
point
big open
is
field.
they were angry with the sage because it appeared like he had stolen the horse. The sage was actually just sitting there in meditation.
Yeah, the
and they
horse
saw
came
the
to
horse
him.
there. Right. And so now the sage just opens his eyes. And by the influence of Indra, the king of heaven, the sons of Sagara had lost their intelligence and disrespected a great personality. Consequently, fire emanated from their own bodies, and they were immediately burned to ashes. So Indra sneakily put this horse by the sage.
You think that's what he did on purpose? You think?
He did it on purpose so they would attack the sage, thinking he stole it.
Oh, my.
Get it? It's like me planting something in your house.
No, just 1 second.
Taking Mara's olive oil, putting it in your house.
That's a really important detail. I just want to check. Did that come from a comic book?
It might have. I've read this story many times. I've read this story many times. This story's in the Ramayana.
All right. So he purposely put it next to Kapiladeva to implicate him.
Sure. Mara, trivia question. Can you name a time in the Krishna book where something similar like this happened, where there was someone's sitting or sleeping in total silence?
Muchakunda.
Oh, Matt.
Mara.
Very good, Mara.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Comic books.
That's not a comic book. That was from the Krishna book. Anyway, same thing. So he hid this horse there, and then when the sages came in, this destroyed. He opened his eyes and he burned them with his eyes, and he created this influence where they all self-combusted. Consequently, fire emanated from their own bodies, and they were immediately burnt to ashes.
Let's read the commentary on this one. This sounds like spontaneous internal combustion.
Combustion. It happens a lot. The material body is earth, water, fire, air, and ether. There's already fire within the body, and our practical experience is that the heat of this fire sometimes increases and sometimes decreases, right? You got a cold, right? The body's got a high fever. That's the fire increasing. Right? It gets too hot and you die.
Mm-hmm.
How hot?
And if you crank it up higher, the body will burn.
Sure.
This does happen. People do. There is such a scientific.
Mara, Google
phenomenon.
it, please.
Spontaneous human combustion.
Spontaneous human combustion. I know she's going to come up with something wonderful. I think there was, matter of fact, I'm in Florida right now. I think there was a thing where somebody in Florida
man.
Huh?
Florida man spontaneously combusts.
Yeah. Not that long ago.
All right. You got something, Mary?
Let's see. The term spontaneous human combustion refers to a situation when a human body is found with significant portions of the middle parts of the body reduced to ashes, much less damage to the head and extremities, and minimal damage to the direct surroundings of the body.
How does it happen?
They don't know.
Well,
we know.
Yeah.
I mean,
we can help them.
Do you have any info for any ideas of what they think is going on?
Wikipedia thinks it's a myth.
Oh, come on, Wikipedia.
Wikipedia.
Come on.
They're like the biggest doubters of everything.
Although there is this lady, Mary Hardy Reeser, who died in 1951 in St. Petersburg, Florida.
Thank you. That's right where Linda lives.
Yep, her fiery death. Florida. Her fiery death was surrounded by mystery and even controversially reported at the time to be a case of spontaneous human combustion.
There are many reports of this.
Yeah.
There are many reports of this. Okay, so please keep reading, Raghunath.
I think when that does happen, I don't think they've done anything to do it. I think it's something they brought in life. That's my speculation. Because when they find something, they can't explain it, and they can't explain how it happened.
Explain it away.
They explain it away.
Yeah.
There's a lot of just peculiar anomalies that happen.
All right. The fire within the bodies.
The fire within the bodies of the sons of Sagara became so much hotter than all of them that all of them burned to ashes. The fire's increased heat was due to their misbehavior toward a great personality. Such misbehavior is called Mahad Vyatikrama.
Mahad Vyatikrama. Vyatikrama means to overstep your bounds.
Overstep, right?
And so to do that in a big way is Mahad.
Maha, overstep your bounds.
Yeah.
They were killed by the fire of their own bodies because of by insulting a great personality.
Okay. Now the next verse is an important one. Let's dive into this. Continues the story.
Right. It is sometimes argued that the sons of Sagara were burned to ashes by the fire emanating from the eyes of Kapila Muni. This statement, however, is not approved by great learned persons. For Kapila Muni's body is completely in the mode of goodness, and therefore cannot manifest the mode of ignorance in the form of anger. just as the pure sky cannot be polluted by the dust of the earth.
Okay, so he's dealing with a rumor.
I was
here.
wrong.
About what?
I thought he looked at them and that glance burned them to ashes.
You see, Raghunath? That's your comic book.
Well, what about
right
Lord
there.
Shiva? He did that. He did that
Well,
to Cupid.
this is something different than that. And so Bhagavatam and Sukadeva Goswami is being very careful to clear this up.
Mm-hmm.
That it wasn't by some kind of glance and burning or
Well,
something.
it was by a glance, but it wasn't the glance that killed them. It was probably.
But then it wasn't by the glance.
but it wasn't the glance that killed them. He glanced at them, and then
Yeah, so it wasn't the
in
glance.
the material world, some type of cause and effect.
It was this
It was
offense
like probably Lord Vishnu for like you offended a great soul, so now you're going down.
well, it's part of how Lord Vishnu's the cause and effects that operate within this realm. And so they go up, they're lit up, the point is being made that Kapila, he's beyond this. And the next verse is going to speak this too. He's not, even if you got 60,000 people falsely accusing him and running at him with weapons,
Right. Yeah.
he's not fighting back. He's just like, oh, I feel bad that you're so confused. Like that's where he's at, right?
Right.
So the next verse will speak to this some more. Go ahead.
It
Anytime
is
you're ready.
sometimes argued that the sons of King Sagar.
No, we just read that one.
Okay, sorry.
13.
Kapila Muni enunciated in this material world the Sankhya philosophy, which is a strong boat with which to cross over the ocean of nescience. Indeed, a person eager to cross the ocean of the material world may take shelter of this philosophy. In such a greatly learned person situated on the elevated platform of transcendence, how can there be any distinction between friend or enemy?
Okay.
That's
Right.
interesting.
So now we got the tie in here, right? It's like if you understand this world very clear, this Sankhya philosophy is just breaking down what this world is made of. You know, you break down all the different ingredients and you begin to see that I am not made of these material ingredients, you know, and that means also you are not made of these material ingredients. We are all beyond it. We are all made of Brahman. This is a Brahma Bhuta Prasanatma, you know, like once you reach that level, you have this peace in you. What is it? Samasarveshu bhuteshu mad bhaktim labhate. I don't see friends and enemies. You know, I see everyone as equally because I'm not, my formula for sizing someone up is not based on the constantly changing material elements. It's based on the never changing spirit, who they really are. That's where my focus goes. And so Kapiladeva not only was well acquainted with this philosophy, he's the one that enunciated it. So if he's that deep into it, then he's not going to be making distinctions between friends and enemies. He's not going to be burning these people down with his glance. That's just a comic book way of presenting it. And that's cleared up here. Why don't you read the Prabhupada's commentary?
That's a good one. One who is promoted to the transcendental position, Brahma Bhuta, is always jubilant, prasanatma. He is unaffected by the false distinctions between good and bad in the material world. Therefore, such an exalted person is samasarveshu bhuteshu. That is to say, they are equal towards everyone, not distinguishing between friend and enemy.
Okay.
Does that mean you can't dislike anybody?
Pretty much.
Okay, so you like everybody.
Yeah, you do.
No, I'm asking you.
You
like
love everybody.
Huh?
Well, you're asking, that question presumes that I'm situated on this platform. I don't know why you're presuming
I'm
that.
just saying, is that your goal to like everybody?
Yeah.
So anybody, you'll just let anybody, anybody into your life. No boundaries.
No boundaries. Doesn't mean I like their behavior.
Okay. It just means you don't despise them or hate them or condemn them. I mean, when we have an enemy, what do we want them to go? We want
Suffer.
them down. We want them to feel some pain. We want them to get their karma.
Yeah.
We want them to learn a lesson.
Yeah. For instance, like say you put out a bogus bottle of olive oil, right? Like let's say you were manufacturing this and promoting it as if it was 100% virgin olive oil, and it really was full of other ingredients.
First pressed.
I can't appreciate that behavior. but it doesn't make me hate you as a person. I realize that you are a pure spirit soul. Somehow your mind has become warped where you're thinking, I need to put out this bogus olive oil, and you're operating through that warped mind. But I know that that's just temporary, that your mind is warped like that. It wasn't like that before. It won't be like that in the future. It's just a blip in time here. You are a pure soul.
And for some reason, I chose to make that bogus olive oil. Maybe I need money desperately. I have children.
You
hungry.
never know.
And I was just like, you know what? I've got to do this. It's a higher thing. I got to sell it, even if it's not real olive oil. I'll mix it with a little other seed oil. No one will know. It's for a higher purpose.
Canola.
The ends it justifies the means.
Yeah.
The means justifies the ends, rather. So
no, the ends justifies the means.
I have a backstory. Also, I could just be evil, and I just want to make money. I just want to make money. I don't care. Who cares? As long as my needs are met.
Yeah. So your mind is evil, but not you.
And so, so the real sage is thinking, these are just, how did this person get greedy? How did this person get corrupt? Just, they're letting different information. And we're all subject to that. Whatever information we hear, it starts to form our mind. Mm-hmm. Why are we going to hate a person because of that?
Yeah.
We might not like that information that's going in their mind and changing the person. We understand that's not even them. Their thoughts aren't them. Relief to know that my thoughts aren't me. Right. Thank God for that. But second of all, your thoughts aren't you. Why am I hating you?
Now, Amy Steller's asking if our mind is evil.
Huh?
Amy Steller's saying, if our mind is evil, how is that not me?
Because you can change your mind in a moment.
Yeah, that's a good point. The self is eternal and the mind is changing all the time. It's kind of like saying, let's say that we only communicated through our computers, right? Let's say like we never met each other. We just communicated through the computer. And let's say, let's say, for instance, you lived up in Super Soul Farm and you're stuck having a lot of times like really bad connection, right? Like just weak internet connection. So when Raghunath is communicating with you, Raghunath appears like he's real slow. It's like he doesn't see, but you wouldn't think Raghunath is slow. You'd be saying the computer that he uses is slow.
Sure.
But he's not slow. In the same way, someone's mind may be warped to be evil, but the mind is just a computer that they're functioning through. Underneath it, there's the real self. Right, who's not evil, but just operating through the warped evil mind.
Got you. We might have to stop here.
Stop here. We're in the middle of the commentary. We can pick up here tomorrow.
Okay.
All right.
Yeah.
You made it, Raghunath. You made it.
Because he is on the absolute platform, free from material contamination. He is called Paratma Bhuta, or Brahma Bhuta. Kapila Muni, therefore, was not at all angry at the sons of Sagar Maharaj. Rather, they were burnt to ashes by the heat of their own bodies. So that
he had nothing to do with it.
That was not explained in the comic book version.
All right.
Okay.
You can write a note to them. Want to draw your attention to a very important detail.
To the commentaries of Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur in this story. I know you didn't bring that up in the comic book.
In the Bhagavatam itself, actually.
Mara, how are you today?
I'm good. I got some good takeaways today.
Yeah. How's it like? How's it like being in that house by yourself with a bunch of birds?
I'm not by myself. I got Ganesham here too.
Oh, Ganesham. He's as quiet as you are.
Yes.
It must be like you're walking to a giant cathedral of silence. Hello. Nodding all the time. No. Writing notes on cards.
When is he coming back?
Speaking in hand language.
When will he be back?
Sign language.
He'll be back soon. Then the quiet will end. Yes.
All right.
Bring the noise.
Our takeaways. Take care of our own spiritual life, and everyone you love is cared for.
Oh, okay.
Uh-huh. Come on, Henry, get close here. I'm bringing Henry on the show here. He's been live with me.
We're asked to be godlike in our love and forgiveness.
Yep.
If you're getting good at spiritual life, get ready for tests.
Yeah. Chanting the Maha Mantra means, bring it on, God. I'm ready to grow. Not give me peace. That'll come in another way, in another form. But
Be-
yeah,
Behave like a sage.
I don't like that. That's a shirt. Behave like a sage.
Have affection for every living being to please God.
There you go.
That have affection for every living being to please.
Even if there's 60,000 of them running at you with weapons,
Trying to
falsely
kill you.
accusing you of stealing a horse. A horse rustler.
Hey, Mara, before you hit the music at the end of this, I want to unmute Timothy Tucker because he's got a Krishna miracle. Okay.
Alright. Destroy enemies by making friends.
Destroy enemies, make
By making
friends.
friends.
Boom. What do you think of that? Boom.
Even on our righteous mission, our own impurities can be problematic.
It happens.
Regular basis.
Thank God my thoughts aren't me.
Thank God. You wrote that down, Mara. That's nice.
Yeah. Don't hate a corrupted mind.
Nope.
And
Well, I don't hate the person who has a corrupted mind.
No.
Yeah.
You got it wrong. It's the other way. You can hate the corrupted mind if you want to. It's a person.
right, yeah, it's
Okay.
like
I got you.
hate the sin.
But
not
really,
the
you don't even need to hate that mind. I mean, it's like
Yeah.
it's an
Okay.
inanimate piece of machinery.
Yeah.
And your olive oil's bogus.
Oh,
Yeah. Sometimes people have bogus olive oil.
I've got a quality olive oil.
Yeah. So look
Yeah.
at the snob.
It's not. You see, we're gonna
Snob.
categorize
Okay,
it.
I want to hear. I got a message from Timothy Tucker that he had yet another. So sometimes people.
Hold on, what's going on here? You just started a new part of the show here.
Yeah, this is
Yeah.
called
Special
the end of the
Krishna
show.
miracles
From
at the
now on,
end?
We're ending the show with Krishna miracles,
All
not
right.
nuggets.
That's why you
Timothy-
cut this show short. 'Cause you
Timothy
wanted
Tucker
to-
is getting so many Krishna miracles. I'm wondering
All
if
right,
he's
what happened?
making them up.
What happened?
Good morning, Kish.
Good morning. Welcome back to my new Krishna Magic segment. Show. Yeah, so
Has there been a new part of the show that I haven't been informed about that
Yeah, it's a
Raghunath
new
and you have
show
put
within a
together?
show,
When we last left off with Timothy Tucker, he had randomly taken his daughter to a park.
Right.
And then he started talking to
remember
a
that.
random man who was taking
Yes.
his daughter to a park. And it turns out that that random man was crazy enough into Krishna consciousness. And it turned out to be Catherine A., a regular listener's brother.
Okay, that was a miracle. What?
That was a
now what?
miracle. We were like, even Kaustubha confirmed. Okay, now what happened yesterday or the day before yesterday?
yeah, it was yesterday. I brought Sadie to a playground. It was a different playground
A
than the
completely
one.
different playground. Okay.
Yeah, the same city, but the other side of town.
All right.
And
All right.
right,
In other
right-
words, he shuffled the cards.
Shuffle the cards.
Exactly. Yeah. So yeah. Anyway, but yeah, and this particular playground was right across the street from a house I spent a lot of my childhood in.
Okay.
So right when we got there, I started reminiscing, telling Sadie a story about being there with my father when I was a kid. Right next to the playground, there's one of those like little library free book boxes.
Oh,
You
yeah.
know what those
so-
are, Kaustubha? You don't know that.
Yes.
You live in the city. People don't
No,
trust
they
each
have them
other.
in the city, Raghunath.
Yeah.
With those book boxes, free library. You just take a book.
I'm very familiar with it. There's probably more of them in the city than there are outside of the city.
Well, there's a lot of lack of trust in the city, but they're all over the countryside.
Maybe you lack the trust.
I
Raghunath.
trust you.
Do you?
Yes. Okay, continue with your miracle.
Yeah, I'm not sure if it's a miracle, but it's some interesting stuff. You guys tell me if it's a miracle. But so as I was talking about a story about my father, I reached into the box, and the first book I pulled out was Jonathan Livingston Seagull.
Oh,
I
yeah.
know you guys have used it, I think, for a nugget way in the past. And anyway, it was
Many times.
it was one of my dad's favorite books, and he always had it on the shelf out in the bookcase that was in the living room. The book was written by a pilot. It's about the seagull learning to fly. And it meant a lot to my dad. And the second I saw it, I was just talking about my dad, and it just, it brought a little tear to my eye. I got a little emotional.
Did your dad put it in the library?
Well, my dad passed away in 2002.
It was a favorite book of his dad.
Yeah,
You think that
That's
his
very
dad
interesting. That's
came
getting
back
miracle. That's
and
getting
put it there?
slightly miraculous.
right.
Continue on.
So that was, I was just, I was thinking how that was a bit synchronicitous, a bit serendipitous, that I found that book. And right then I looked up and,
Seagull came.
Catherine A's brother and daughter were walking from their car over to the playground again. So
What?
yeah. So like I was having that one moment of the book, and then I then saw Catherine's brother again. And then then their daughters played for a while, and then like my daughter's usually very shy, and like they get along so well, like they're just old friends. Catherine's niece, I guess. And then we were done with that, and we went back to my house. And then right when I got home, there's this giant box at my doorstep, and I opened it up, and it was from like a devotee I had met like through the show, like a couple years back, and like I've never met him in real life, don't really have much contact with him, but he just sent me this giant box that was just like full of like Krishna conscious books, like a new bead bag and like giant mala and like these like all these like 4 huge canvases with reprints of like famous Krishna paintings and stuff. And anyway, like I said, there's a bunch of books. And just a few days before that, we had a program on Sunday, and one of the devotees, Adrian, who always comes, like came and gifted me the Srila Prabhupada Leelamrita set. So just like within the past like few days, just like all of this transcendental books and like stuff I didn't ask for, wasn't expecting, just kind of fell into my lap, and it just felt like Krishna, like specifically like saying, "Hi, I'm right here."
Oh, that's nice.
That's
now,
nice.
now I think that when you took that book out of the library box thing,
Yeah.
if at that moment a seagull descended and started speaking,
Yeah, or a
that
baby,
would have been a
baby
miracle.
elephant
Okay.
or something.
Sure.
that would have been talking birds always gets Raghunath going.
I like that would have been a miracle. Right.
Well, I'll look out for that talking seagull, and I'll report.
Or
back
if
when I find
Catherine
it.
A's brother also was carrying a seagull in his hand, we
No,
might
but he was carrying a seagull. That would have been good too.
he came out of the car with a seagull. I would have been like, okay, you got a bona fide Krishna miracle.
but I do sense that your world is becoming magical. The
Yes,
wonderful
it's
things are happening left and right.
How about a magical? Your life has become more magical.
Magical, we'll give it that.
Miracles happen within magic also.
Yes.
But not all of the magic are miracles.
Yes.
That's right.
It
But
was
you're
a
close.
magical
You're-
series of events.
You're hovering in that magical miracles, and we love that about you.
Right
And
on the
your
edge.
beautiful
You're living on
family.
the edge of miracles. There's a title for a book for you.
Live on the edge of miracles, the precipice of miracles. And guess what? While that was happening, both David Houseworth and Ishwari Sundari says those library boxes, they both have randomly been putting Bhagavad Gitas and Punk to Monk in those library boxes.
Look at that.
You should do that. Do you?
Who,
Have
me?
you ever put them in? Liar. You put them in those library boxes, Henry.
He wouldn't lie.
I did. I put one in there one time. Just happened.
In your neighborhood in Washington, D.C.
Go find it.
You're saying that in front of the Vaishnavas. That you did that.
Raghunath, why don't you
put
trust
that
him?
book in front.
Yes, I did.
Yes.
Really? Okay. I believe you then.
I'm never going to do it again.